Good morning, everyone. Today, we will explore the life of Winston Churchill, one of Britain's most famous leaders. Churchill led his country through a time of great danger and left a lasting mark on history. Winston Leonard Spencer Churchill was born on November 30, 1874. At Blenheim Palace in Oxfordshire, England. His father, Lord Randolph Churchill, was a Member of Parliament, and his mother, Jenny Jerome, was an American socialite. As a child, Winston was shy at school but loved history and drawing. He spent hours reading books about battles and sketching maps. In 1893, Churchill went to the Royal Military Academy at Sandhurst. 2 years later, he joined the British Army and served in India and Sudan. In 1899, during the Second Boer War in South Africa, he was captured by enemy forces but made a dramatic escape. His reports for newspapers brought him early fame as a brave war correspondent. In 1900, Churchill entered politics. At age 26, he became the youngest Member of Parliament in the House of Commons. Over the next 2 decades, he held various government posts, including President of the Board of Trade and Home Secretary. He supported social reforms such as old age pensions and worker protections. When World War I began in 1914, Churchill was First Lord of the Admiralty, in charge of the Royal Navy. He helped plan the naval blockade of Germany and supported innovative ideas like the first use of tanks. In 1915, however, the Gallipoli campaign failed, and Churchill resigned from his position. He spent 2 years serving on the Western Front as a soldier and later returned to Parliament. Between the wars, Churchill warned about the rise of Adolf Hitler and Nazi Germany, but many politicians ignored his warnings. In 1939, when Britain declared war on Germany, Churchill became part of the war cabinet. In May 1940, Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain resigned, and King George VI asked Churchill to form a government. Churchill's speeches became famous worldwide. On May 13, 1940, he addressed the House of Commons and said, "I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat." These words showed his honesty and resolve. Over the next 5 years, Churchill inspired Britain through radio broadcasts and public speeches. He worked closely with allies like President Franklin D. Roosevelt of the United States and Premier Joseph Stalin of the Soviet Union. On June 6, 1944, the Allies launched the Normandy landings, codenamed D-Day, which began the liberation of Western Europe. Churchill visited the beaches days later, praising the bravery of soldiers from many nations. After victory in Europe in May 1945, Churchill gave a speech in Westminster and warned that peace is not won by words alone. In the general election that summer, however, his party lost power. Churchill spent the next 5 years as leader of the opposition, writing books about the war. In 1951, Churchill returned as Prime Minister for his second term. He focused on rebuilding Britain, improving housing, and maintaining strong ties with the United States. In 1953, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature for his historical writings and speeches. Churchill retired in 1955 due to ill health but remained a Member of Parliament until 1964. He continued painting. He loved to paint landscapes and writing memoirs. On January 24, 1965, Winston Churchill died at the age of 90. His state funeral was attended by leaders from around the world. Churchill's legacy is huge. He showed that courage, clear words, and steadfast leadership can help a nation overcome great challenges. Today, his speeches and writings remain sources of inspiration. His life reminds us to stand firm, speak honestly, and work together when times are tough. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please leave a comment and let me know what you learned from Churchill's life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. See you in the next episode.